Patience with me because I'm a writer, I'm not a speaker, so I'll be reading from a prepared statement that I wrote last night. First, for all of those who don't know me, my name is Chandra. I'm a proud European descent supporter of the Mexica movement. I'm an Indigenous rights activist. Like most of you gathered here today, I'm passionately against the Dakota Access Pipeline. The reasons are numerous, beginning with the disrespect shown to the Dakota Access and Energy partners toward the Indigenous peoples and seeking a genuine consultation with them in regard to their concerns about the pipeline. As you've all seen played out in the limited media we have access to, the lack of respect has continued and is now being actively supported by law enforcement and our own government agencies. There have been serious violations, both human and legal, without any consequence or accountability to the perpetrators. Some of these offenses include using trained attack dogs on the water protectors, very heavy and frequent use of mace and rubber bullets, at least one case of hooding, a violation of the Geneva Convention, low-flying aircraft day and night over camp, a violation of FAA regulations, use of LRAD, long-range acoustic devices with the potential to cause permanent hearing damage, unnecessary strip searches of detainees clearly intended to humiliate and debase, confiscating equipment and searching vehicles without warrants, housing arrested protectors in dog kennels on cement in one layer of clothing without food for the duration of their detainment, writing numbers on their arms when arrested, a further act to demean and demoralize, bulldozing an established camp, confiscating the belongings there, including sacred items, and later dumping them on the side of the highway, suppressing media by means of targeting for those for arrest with cameras or clearly live feeding, arresting independent media persons such as Amy Goodman and the 5 reporters from Unicorn Riot, jamming cell coverage, and shooting at drones flying within regulations, refusing to allow protectors to honor an ancestral site where North Dakota law dictates it's illegal to prevent family from visiting the resting place of their relatives. All of these items are documented, and there are both witness and victim accounts. These and many other actions have shown the Morton County Police and the masked unidentified enforcers that work with them, as well as DAPL security personnel, to be completely without humanity or concern for the safety of the water protectors, peaceful protectors who have not provoked or warranted any of these actions. If that fact needed any further emphasis, it was provided when 14 members of a clergy-led peaceful protest at the Capitol were arrested on Thursday. What was their crime? Praying? No, it was assembly without a permit. Do you know it's now illegal to assemble, to protest, to speak without a permit? Does this sound like America to you or a police state? But most of you know all of this, that's why you're here. You're just as angry about this as I am. You're ashamed of a government that doesn't intervene, of greed coming before the most basic respect for human life and well-being. You know the water this pipeline is slated to build under feeds a massive watershed. And when that pipeline breaks, it will affect the drinking water of over 10 million people, not to mention the ecosystems that thrive along those water lines. You know it's about the water, but it's also about Indigenous resistance. Not since Custer has there been a huge gathering of so many Indigenous nations unified in their determination to protect not just themselves, but all of us. They are not just the original protectors of the earth, they are the rightful owners of this land. For over 500 years, the Indigenous peoples have seen the ongoing genocide of their people, the theft of their land and resources, and the breaking of government treaties. It's not surprising really, that DAPL and Energy Transfer Partners, Morton County, the Army Corps of Engineers, the National Guard, right up to Obama himself, that they thought they could move this pipeline right through sacred sites without any regard for the Indigenous peoples. Because actions like this are all they've ever done, all they've ever known, and they've always gotten away with it.
Not this time.
Guess what? They're not getting away with it anymore. Despite every single effort they've made and continue to make to squash this story and send the protectors home defeated, the numbers at Osheti's Socowan camp rise with every action because they've had enough. This is a stand not just for water, but for the empowerment of the Indigenous peoples. This is a statement that they will not be ignored any longer. That this land, their land, will be respected, and the rightful owners of this land of Seminawak will be heard. No longer will they allow white supremacy where its institutions of hatred and oppression go silently unnoticed, and neither should we. Those of you who consider yourselves white allies, who are awake to the true and shameful history of our ancestors and the ongoing genocide of people of color, we have an obligation to stand up to make our voices heard as well, to stand beside our Indigenous and Black friends as vocal, determined, and unrelenting warriors against white supremacy and all its evil parts. Standing Rock is a catalyst for all of us. It's a wake-up call. It's a call to action. We're all here at this protest because we need to make some noise. Use your social media to broadcast the live feeds and the post. Make the whole world see what's happening in North Dakota. Attend as many events as you can. Talk to your friends, your family, share your knowledge. Make phone calls to your government representatives and demand they take action. Call the White House and ask the president why he thinks it's okay to just let this situation play out, as he said recently. If you can, go to Standing Rock. Warriors are needed. People willing to risk arrest and stand for what is right. Or send money or donations. The camps are preparing right now for the harsh North Dakota winter. They need money and cold weather clothing and shelter. They need wood. Maybe you could organize wood being delivered. There's endless ways you can help. If this matters as much to you as it does to me. There are GoFundMe sites. I brought flyers for everybody that have those addresses, but I've heard that those are being blocked now by PayPal, so your funds may or may not get to the camps. Please look online for the latest information. Sacred Stone Campsite is a good place to find that information. And lastly, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Lastly, I just want to make a personal appeal. I did go to Standing Rock in September with Olin Tezcatlipoca, the director of the Mexica movement, and one of the other members. We will be going back there with a group of scholar warriors to support and stand beside the warriors there. We're going Thanksgiving week, and we need your help. Our GoFundMe is behind fundraising goals, so if you would like to make a donation, please feel free to see myself or Nowie. Thank you all for coming here and standing for Standing Rock.
All right, sorry. All right, anybody else wants to speak?
Let's go walk.